Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Magic. Have you ever watched an episode that barely raises its voice, yet somehow echoes the loudest in your heart? Episode 5 of Are You Sure? Is exactly that kind of episode. It's not about grand actions or bold confessions, but about time intentionally slowed down. About small laughter with no reason. About two people who don't try to look extraordinary, because their mere presence together is already enough. From synchronized steps toward a quiet lake to little moments that feel too honest to be called coincidence. This episode feels like a love letter softly whispered through the camera. And today we're going to dive into it together. Every detail, every glance, every warmth that might be missed if not felt with the heart. Let's begin. Episode 5 feels like a day deliberately allowed to move slowly. Not because nothing happens, but because every moment is fully filled with each other's presence. From the very start, Jimin and Jungkook begin their journey toward a calm lake. The camera doesn't capture grand scenes, but the most honest details. Synchronized steps, unforced laughter, light teasing, and small playful moments that only appear when two people are truly comfortable together. There is no script, no excessive effort, and that's exactly where its magic lies. Upon arriving at the lake, they choose the simplest way to unwind, relaxing in a jacuzzi boat, a small boat filled with warm water floating in the middle of nature's stillness. They sit comfortably, share drinks, and enjoy time without goals or urgency. Just two people letting time flow as it is. Jimin is the first to test the cold lake water. Hesitant, retreating, laughing at himself, then finally gathering the courage. Jungkook, in his signature mischievous way, teases him, and even tells a small lie, saying Jimin has to jump in first. Laughter erupts. The familiar push and pull dynamic, playful but never hurtful. Jimin refuses to lose. He insists Jungkook should jump first, teasing him until he succeeds. In the end, they jump together. Spontaneous, natural. Afterward, they swim side by side. Jungkook compliments Jimin, saying he swims really well. A simple sentence, yet filled with care. A small game begins. Jimin holds Jungkook by the waist, swimming in a silly way. One moves, the other follows. They laugh, call it funny, as if aware this moment will linger as a long-lasting memory. Water splashes turn into loud laughter. Jokes about military life, light touches on the back, fake complaints that end in laughter. Everything feels light, warm, and deeply human. In the middle of the quiet lake, they sing together. Not for the camera, not for the audience, just because they want to. Then, like two little kids, they pretend to be pirates, pointing at imaginary ships, calling each other Captain, pretending to panic because they feel lost, until they realize there's a radio on the boat. Problem solved. Just like many things when they're together. When they arrive at the accommodation, admiration is immediate. Jimin explores the room with sparkling eyes, praising its beauty. Jungkook approaches casually and says, "This is our room." A simple sentence, as if it were already a shared decision. Jimin tells him to go to another room, but Jungkook's intention is clear, and that's exactly where the sweetness lies. They eat together, share food, and Jimin feeds Jungkook without hesitation. Jungkook cooks, and they enjoy a dinner made by their own hands. When night falls, Jungkook suggests changing clothes in the bathroom, but Jimin chooses to turn off the camera and change in the room. When the camera turns back on, they're already in pajamas, no explanation needed. Even though there is another room, Jungkook still sleeps in the same one. Before sleeping, they play rock, paper, scissors, a small ritual that feels intimate. The night passes without many scenes, as if privacy is truly being respected. The next day brings a challenge, a free-fall jump from a height of around 90 meters. Jimin is clearly terrified. He can only be spared if Jungkook wins. Behind the jokes, Jimin expresses complete trust in Jungkook, without hesitation. Ironically, Jungkook himself looks nervous at the height. A racing heartbeat, small warm interactions captured before the jump. Jungkook jumps successfully. Jimin is safe. But Jungkook, true to his nature, wants to try again, even up to 3 times. Jimin just laughs and says, "I should have known." When Jungkook jumps again, Jimin waits below while recording. Jungkook waves and makes a heart. Simple gestures that feel deeply meaningful. On the way home, Jungkook sends a heartfelt message to Bam, while Jimin reminisces about his childhood dog, Dosan. The conversation about loss is quiet and honest, revealing a vulnerable side rarely shown. The day ends with ice cream shared between them, laughter as geese and ducks approach, Jungkook's sudden loss of bravery, and finally, back to the lake. They play, joke around, pretend to fall, support each other, and laugh until they're soaked. They come out wrapped in towels, but with hearts that feel full. This episode isn't about grand actions or dramatic confessions. It's about two people choosing to be fully present, in laughter, fear, teasing, and silence. The entire episode feels like a love letter written in the softest voice, through the camera lens. Jikook appear simply as themselves. They photograph each other, laugh without reason, and care for one another through small habits that may seem trivial, yet are filled with meaning. The camera is no longer a work tool, but an extension of attention. Jungkook instinctively points the camera at Jimin, zooming in, capturing small details. Faint smiles, gentle gazes, expressions Jimin himself might not even notice. The way he films feels intentional, as if he wants to keep every version of Jimin. And Jimin responds in his own way, photographing Jungkook playfully, triggering genuine, shameless laughter. There's no awkwardness, only comfort. There are small domestic moments. Manners first, Jimin says while holding back the drink bottle until Jungkook says, "Please." Jungkook complies with a soft, playful tone and a small smile. Their dynamic is gentle, playful, warm, two adults who turn into two kids when they're together. Busan is more than just a location. Feels like home. Warm dialects, familiar streets, the sense of returning. Added to that are behind-the-scenes moments. Jimin dancing to J-Hope's Killer, and Jungkook, always Jungkook, behind the camera. Even when Jungkook unknowingly changes the lyrics to Jimin's name, everything becomes clear. Jimin is on his mind, in every small space. What makes this episode special isn't one big moment, but the continuity of care. The way they check on each other, look after each other, stay close without needing words. A kind of concern that feels instinctive. This episode doesn't shout to leave an impression. Its beauty is born from its softness. Small laughter, simple photos, brief glances, attention that flows naturally. A reminder that love doesn't always need loud confessions. Sometimes it hides behind a camera. Sometimes it appears through a slow zoom. Sometimes it shows up in just one changed lyric, unaware of how much feeling has been revealed. Episode 5 of Are You Sure? Doesn't leave behind an emotional explosion, but a warmth that lingers. Like a quiet memory that isn't noisy, yet stays with you long after the screen goes dark. Jimin and Jungkook never say anything outright, but through small attentions, a camera always pointing at the same face, trust, laughter, and comfortable silence. Everything has already been said, because sometimes love doesn't come in beautiful sentences. It comes in the way someone slows down time, just to stay together. If you felt the same warmth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share in the comments which moment touched your heart the most. Thank you for spending time with us on Jikook Magic. See you in the next small story, quiet perhaps, but always meaningful.